All right, there's some breaking news coming in right now. The Prime Minister is going to be addressing the Delhi University valedictory function today. He is traveling by the Delhi Metro. Those are the visuals that we're showing you right now on your screens. Remember, the Prime Minister is going to be addressing the valedictory function because today is DU's centenary celebrations, and the shots that we're showing you right now, though, are of the Prime Minister traveling in the Delhi Metro as he heads to the Delhi University. Remember, beyond this, he's also going to be laying the foundation stone of about 3 DU buildings. That's also something that we're going to be seeing today. Now, he's going to be participating in the valedictory ceremony of the centenary celebrations that are taking place, and he's also going to be addressing a gathering on this occasion. These and the visuals that we're showing you again are once more of the Prime Minister traveling in the Delhi Metro ahead of that big function of the centenary celebrations that we're going to be seeing take place later today in Delhi University. We're crossing over to CNN News 18's Payal Mehta to get us more on this. Payal, so the breaking development is essentially we're showing our viewers shots of the Prime Minister traveling in the Delhi Metro ahead of the centenary celebrations of the Delhi University.
Well, it's a big occasion for the Delhi University given the fact that it is a centenary celebration and the Prime Minister has an association being the alumni of this university. Having said that, we've seen often in the past that the Prime Minister is very, very careful about his conduct in the public and very careful as to how convenience it is caused to the common man. And that is one of the reasons on multiple occasions when the Prime Minister has had to travel. He's asked for minimum security, but that's not in his control generally. But he's asked to make sure that there's no inconvenience caused to the common man. That's one of the reasons a lot of times he's seen traveling by metro. Now, if you travel from his local and Marg residence to the Delhi University, it's probably quite a few kilometers, and which meant that if the Prime Minister would have traveled using his normal road route and taken his cavalcade along, it clearly meant that a lot of roads would have been blocked and inconvenience would have been caused to people. So that's one of the reasons. It's very significant to see the kind of messaging that goes over here that the Prime Minister does not mind traveling by public transportation and does not mind, traveling like a common man, because at the end of the day, he has always spoken about minimum government and maximum governance and how the cause of the common man can really be helped. So these are the things that one can draw from this particular set of visuals that we are able to see.
Absolutely. Payal, please stay with us. We're also crossing over to CNN News 18's Arun Thanta, who's also going to be telling us more about the program which we're going to be seeing today. All right, we'll try to reestablish that connection with Arun. Crossing back over to you, Payal, could you tell us more about the programs that we're going to be seeing today? Because one other thing in this is that he's also going to be inaugurating 3 new buildings in Delhi University.
Yes, he's going to be doing a lot of inaugurations of the 3 major buildings as far as the Delhi University is concerned, one of the most prominent universities in this country as well. And obviously, like I said, that he has an association with the university. He's been an alumni of this particular university as well. So that makes it even more special. There is, of course, a new set of courses also that the university is currently taking on. They're going to begin the BTech courses. And there'll be a couple of other courses also that the Prime Minister will be talking about. The most important thing will be what message will the Prime Minister really give out to the students who are gathered over there, because he's generally somebody who leaves somebody with a thought to ponder over. So that's something which obviously I spoke to the Vice Chancellor yesterday. They were very excited of the Prime Minister coming over, sending a message, because the Prime Minister has spoken about the fact that yes, India is 75 years old since its independence. But what we're looking at is the next 25 years where we're talking about this being the Amrit Kaal. Till India turns 100. So a lot of messaging, and I think there is so much of youth in India. The messaging by the Prime Minister is going to be extremely critical, especially the way in which we've seen the education system really revolve.
So that's Payal reporting on the Prime Minister's visit to the Delhi University. Hello, I am Arunima. Payal, just to recap, the Prime Minister discussing his thoughts, chit-chatting with these youngsters while he's taking the metro ride. I can also see he's very proudly pointing out to his Assamese gamocha. So trying to, connect with the youngsters even before he's reached the university.
Yes, the Prime Minister is known to connect with people across the age group. Arunima, we've often seen that. You and me both have covered a lot of events of the Prime Minister as well. But here he can be seen interacting with a common man. He's traveling the metro. He's taking the metro to the Delhi University, which otherwise would have caused a lot of inconvenience if he went by road, because that generally would have meant a lot of roads would have been blocked. And in any case, that route to Delhi University is generally very, very traffic heavy. So that's a very important messaging that the Prime Minister said. He's often said that the youth of the country decides the future of any country. So India has a lot of youth in it. So what is the messaging that the Prime Minister will really be giving once he speaks at the centenary celebrations is going to be extremely important.
Hold on, Arun Dhanta covers the Bharatiya Janata Party, also with us on the broadcast. Arun, like Payal was pointing out, the youngsters are a very important demographic as far as India is concerned. We are entering an election year. Would you see this visit also from the poll lens?
Well, absolutely. And Prime Minister Modi has never shied away from these events. He's been doing Pariksha Pe Charcha with students. And now today when he's going to participate in that DU's Centenary celebrations programs, he is traveling to the venue via metro. And that's how the majority of students of Delhi University actually travel via metro. So therefore, Prime Minister Modi is sending a clear message that he is amongst all the students, the way they commute to their colleges, and therefore Prime Minister Modi will once again be amongst the students of Delhi universities. And also we have seen in the past during such programs of Prime Minister Modi, whether it is Pariksha Pe Charcha or whenever he speaks to youths of the country, they also have that eagerness to listen to Prime Minister Modi, because we have seen whenever he participates in such programs, he has always some anecdotes or the important information, some life learning that he gives to the students, and that is why students also look up to Prime Minister Modi to listen to him. And today is once again such opportunity for the students who will be participating in this program. Of course, all the preparations are done for the program. Prime Minister Modi will be inaugurating a few buildings there which have been prepared with the state-of-the-art technology, which will also be a huge help for the students of Delhi universities. And also importantly, these students, Arunima, will also get the opportunity to showcase their work to Prime Minister Modi, because we are told that there will be various exhibitions, stalls in which a few of the Delhi university colleges have prepared some stuff to show Prime Minister Modi. So Prime Minister Modi will also, look into that, give some suggestions, and also if he likes it, he doesn't really, hold himself back, but he praises that work. So it is also going to be a very, very interesting session when Prime Minister Modi is going to speak to the students of Delhi University. And Prime Minister Modi is in fact, sending a very clear message while traveling, via metro. He could have easily gone there, with his cavalcade. Right. Now he's traveling in metro. That is also a message in itself.
Payal, if you're still there, Delhi University is like mini India, a melting pot which sees students from across the country come, from south, from east, west, of course north as well. So when the Prime Minister goes and shares his thought with the student community, he's effectively, targeting a sample size of the entire country.
Well, absolutely. Delhi University is, like you said, one of the most premium universities across the country. And Delhi being the national capital, students from all over the country come to study. And that's one of the reasons the gamucha that the Prime Minister is really wearing, which is an Assamese gamucha, also sends a message in a way as well that we're talking about Ek Bharat, Shresh Bharat. He has reached out to the people and said, and especially to the students, and said that it is time that, you take up interesting things like technology. You've seen the kind of work that the government has done in terms of promoting technology, promoting IT-driven solutions. So all of that is something which the Prime Minister is expected to address. And that is one of the reasons, like Arun was mentioning, that yes, the state-of-the-art buildings that are going to be inaugurated will only take the university forward.
Right. Arun, can you just give us a sense how soon is Prime Minister expected to reach the venue? How much time is he going to spend there? What all is listed as far as his schedule is concerned?
Well, see, Prime Minister Modi, a few minutes back boarded the metro, and the timing which we were told was around 11:30 when Prime Minister Modi would be addressing the gathering there. So it will not take much time for Prime Minister Modi to reach to perhaps Vishwavidyalaya metro station, where he will deboard the metro. And the venue is also very close to that metro station. And that is something which Prime Minister Modi would have assessed, that how much time it will take him from Vishwavidyalaya metro station to reach the venue when people are waiting for Prime Minister Modi eagerly waiting for Prime Minister Modi to listen to him. And also, we are given to understand that all the facilities which will be provided in this new buildings, the focus will be on the research side as well. So there are various state-of-the-art technology which has been used for the students as far as the research is concerned. So that focus is also there on. And also, of course, the youth, we know, the larger chunk of our population is youth. So therefore, it is important to have that importance to this section of the society. And these are the people, for whom Prime Minister Modi has been speaking, that we need more, participation of youths in the politics. Fresh ideas should be flown in. And therefore, Prime Minister Modi's address is also going to be very, very interesting on this centenary celebration of Delhi University.
Right. Payal, if our IITs are looked as cradles for our innovations, technology related, Delhi University is considered a cradle as far as our bureaucracy is concerned. A lot of Delhi University alumni have in fact made it to the bureaucracy, and Pallavi Ghosh is also tracking the story, joining me on the broadcast. So Pallavi, let me bring you in on that. We're just expecting the Prime Minister's event at DU to begin. We're looking at visuals of him taking that metro ride, getting into a conversation, a very animated conversation, if I might say, with the students, I think, who are traveling with him. His address, not just targeted at the student community, but sending a larger message, isn't it? Because like Payal and I were discussing, Delhi University is like a melting pot. It's like mini India with representation from all over.
And across the country, certainly, and not just bureaucrats. I mean, politicians. For example, Arun Jaitley himself is an alumni of Delhi University. And so there are a couple of messaging which I think is coming across from the Prime Minister taking the metro ride. One, of course, the fact that he's freely interacting with the students. And remember, the youth and empowerment of youth has been one of the main pitches of the Prime Minister. And politically speaking, they are the aspirational vote bank. They are also going to be first-time voters. And he's always spoken about the need for the youth to be encouraged, whether in terms of innovative lines of profession, startups for that matter, and also that they should exercise their political as well as their economic mandate. That's one powerful messaging which is coming across, even as he goes to inaugurate 3 buildings in Delhi University, the Centenary celebrations as well. And the second, of course, I would also say, use of the metro also has a larger messaging. Eco-friendly public mode of transport. That is something which the Prime Minister has always made a strong pitch for. And also that they said Aam Aadmi Ki Sawari, something which the common man uses. And also it's a place where people from different cultures, different professions come together and interact. So there are a couple of messaging whenever our politicians and certainly our leaders take the public mode of transport to encourage people to use it more and more, and also a means of communication and interacting with each other.
Right. Does this also take you back to 2013, Pallavi? SRCC, I mean, you mentioned Mr. Jaitley, his college in Delhi University, Shri Ram College of Commerce, that is where the Prime Minister, before he became the Prime Minister in 2014, in 2013, he actually started his process of wooing the youngsters with Delhi University, with SRCC.
And, he makes it a point, not just Delhi University, he makes it a point that whenever he's traveling, he'll at least have one program as much as he can as far as an interaction with the youth and the students is concerned. And, if you look at his pitch, even when he goes abroad, he tries to meet different strokes of people, but he also tries to make a point to meet as many young people as possible. The whole pitch of the Modi government, and especially for 2024, our women, our youth, these are the very two powerful sections which he thinks can actually bring about a new change India. So whenever he talks about new laws, about new policies, he says we really need to look ahead. What is it that a new generation is looking at? What is it that a new generation expects from their politicians? Overthrowing the whole colonial legacy, the dynasty regime is. That's also what the Prime Minister often talks about when he talks about youth. And that many of them are first-time voters, of course. But apart from that, many of them were not born during the freedom movement of India. So he also makes this a point that, they need to be told the importance of India's freedom movement, and history also has to be taught correct. Those are also political pitches which often come in from the Prime Minister.
Any discordant note expected? I'm asking you again because going back to 2013, there were sections of Students' Union who had protested against the invite. But this time around, all expected to be smooth?
Well, it's tough to say that, but I don't think today's occasion where there should be any discord. No, it's not a political event. He's going there as the Prime Minister of the country, also someone who interacts with the youth. And as I said, a part of the program are three buildings which are going to be inaugurated. It's a stress on technology, on enterprise, and a look ahead. That's exactly the stress which has been given. And as you pointed out, the Delhi University has been a melting point. People from different parts of the country, from far-flung areas, who many thought may not be able to actually travel to a national capital and even study here or work here. He says while it's important that at the state level facilities should be provided, but take some time. Till then, everyone, every university, every company should actually be open up to people from every part or nook and corner of the country.
While these three buildings, the foundation stone of which is going to be laid by the Prime Minister, what are these buildings? How are they going to help Delhi University students? Will they be helped in research, in further educational and academic pursuit?
Yes, that's the reason that these state-of-the-art buildings have been, built. They're going to be inaugurated by the Prime Minister. We're given to understand that this is going to be a building which is state-of-the-art. This is going to be something which is going to aid the students in the times to come as well. And that is the single biggest stress that the government has really laid in terms of, empowering the students and empowering education. And what the students are extremely excited about, Arunima, is the fact that they will be actually putting up a presentation or will be putting up an exhibition where they'll talk about the history of Delhi University. It's a 100-year-old history. Probably thousands and thousands of students from across the country are probably now serving within the country or probably have found themselves, opportunities in terms of jobs, etc. across the globe as well. So it's a huge occasion for them. It's a very momentous occasion for them, and for Prime Minister also it's a huge occasion because, like I said, he's been an alumni of the Delhi University. It's a very, very special occasion. It's practically like a homecoming for the Prime Minister. And you had mentioned about the fact that, yes, this university has given birth to many, many careers. Pallavi just mentioned Arun Jaitley for an example. But in the audience today, sitting amongst the students and the teachers is one politician who's known for his excellent speech, and that is Professor Manoj Jha as well. He's also seated in the audience. He will also be looking forward to listening to the Prime Minister amongst many other students and, of course, teachers.
Well, there are some names that I can rattle off. Shashi Tharoor, Rahul Gandhi, Professor Manoj Jha himself. There are a lot of politicians who are from that university who have been in North Campus, Payal. So it will be a chance for them also as alumni of this university, those who are present there. Will there be any opportunity to interact or, will the students get a chance to ask Prime Minister anything that they want him to clarify or interact about?
Well, we'll have to look at the detailed program because, the university has kept very mum as far as the entire issue is concerned because we are given to understand that the Prime Minister certainly will be giving an address. Of course, the guest of honor over there is the Education Minister of the country, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan. He's expected to speak as well. But I'm sure, like our colleagues have been reporting, that every time that the Prime Minister gets an opportunity, to interact with a common man, he's been more than happy, he's been more than welcome, in interacting with them. So, right from interacting with the students while he's there at the Delhi Metro, to the fact that he will obviously looking forward to interact with the students at the university campus as well. It'll be very interesting if the students have any interesting questions for them because, students are young minds. We've seen the Prime Minister encourage all his colleagues also, to have interactions with the youth as much as possible to keep them engaged because they are the future. And the new India that he's speaking about is the new India that is going to be empowered by the youth of the country. So in the past also you've seen several such interactions, whether it is, I remember one very distinctly with Nirmala Sitharaman having an interaction with the students, where one of the students really had a meltdown and said that, she felt very, very uncomfortable and felt very, very, depressed at the time of exams. And that was the question that Nirmala Sitharaman had taken and that had gone viral as well. So students do have a mind of their own. They do have a thinking of their own. They have probably many great ideas which the Prime Minister has always been very, very encouraging about. Whether or not there is a formal interaction or not, we'll have to just wait and see how the event pans out.
Right. Pallavi, this metro ride might have been a surprise, a morning surprise for the metro commuters. But of course, the Prime Minister and the security arrangements might have been done beforehand. Anything else within the Delhi University campus? There are a lot of student joints which are part of the university, memories. Any sense that you get that beyond the convention hall, beyond the actual podium, the Prime Minister could spring a surprise and just move around the campus also to get a feel? Any security arrangements that you see which gives you that sense? Pallavi, are you still there?
So the thing about the Prime Minister really, Arunima, is that one can never ever predict what his next step is going to be. He's known to spring surprises, and there are those impromptu interactions which we can often expect. I mean, not many of us were actually told very much in advance that he's going to take in the metro ride. He wants to make it out to be an impromptu interaction with the students, and the pictures which are being now put out clearly shows that, and he's having conversations with different kind of students while on his way, and he's just tweeted even as we speak about the interactive metro ride that he's having as he goes to Delhi University. Basically, the whole function is also taking place in a multi-purpose sports complex auditorium. There are 3 buildings as we are talking, state-of-the-art technology, centenary celebrations at Delhi University. So he's culminating, and the Prime Minister is actually giving a wrap-up of that particular occasion. Also sending out multiple messages as we all have been talking about. I mean, a common mode of transport, which transies. For example, just on a different note, metro, for example, is a mode of transport which is actually used by a large spectrum of people, not necessarily seen as a poor man's transport. So there are young students, professionals, all of them use the metro, not just in Delhi, but also many other state capitals as well. So that's one messaging, that transport or public mode of transport actually acts as a kind of big leveler. So that's one point. Second, of course, is increasingly interacting. Wherever you see him traveling abroad, even across the country, he tries to make a point to reach out to the youth, as many of our politicians are beginning to do so. Understanding the power of youth, the power of women has become the increasing political pitch of almost all political parties, and for the Prime Minister particularly, as he lays down his policy decisions, new policies, new scheme of the government, the focus has always been on enterprise, on empowerment. And I think that's also the point he would certainly want to talk about when he addresses the many students at the Delhi University later today.
Pallavi, you have passed out of that university yourself. I mean, this is a university which gave, the last Prime Minister was a professor in Dr. Manmohan Singh. He spent time there teaching students. The current Prime Minister, as a student, also has traversed through the corridors of various colleges and universities here. As it completes 100 years, for the students, for the alumni, for the staff and professors, what does this moment possibly mean when the Prime Minister of the country is going to be amidst them?
I think it's a great occasion for any university or any college when the Prime Minister, for example, comes down. There are going to be critics of the Prime Minister across opposition political parties. And I know the Congress often does this, ridiculing the Prime Minister. Why does he even need to go to universities or colleges? It's just another centenary celebration. Why does he want to do it? And micromanaging. I don't think the Prime Minister sees it as that. I mean, every student becomes important, the youth becomes important, and, the association of any leader with a particular university and the Prime Minister of a country wanting to be involved in the celebrations of any university for that matter, it becomes a big morale booster for the many students who come there. I mean, for all of us who studied in Delhi University, and I've never studied in the campus per se, so I studied in the South campus. But if you talk about the North campus particularly, you have students actually who come in from very, very humble backgrounds, who are very aspirational. They come in from far-flung areas, many of them on scholarships, many of them take loans also to come and study there. I think the Prime Minister possibly is also going to reach out and give that messaging that I myself come from a similar background. And if today I've reached where I am, then each one of you who's sitting over there can also reach the spot. And, the doors are always open. And that's why he talks about empowerment of youth in terms of startups, in terms of better opportunities and equal opportunities for all. No sense of entitlement, no sense of a legacy or a dynasty. That's a pitch which the Prime Minister and the government keeps on giving.
As I'm talking to you, Pallavi, visuals are coming in. I think the Prime Minister has reached the hall, and there are a lot of international students greeting him. We have been talking about how Delhi University is a melting pot. It's a mini India. But it's also a fact that a lot of our neighboring countries, students from there, a lot of students from the African countries, from the Central Asian countries, from South Asia, Southeast Asia, aspire to be a DU student. And this is their occasion to interact with the Indian Prime Minister. On our screen are visuals of traditionally dressed students. Big moment for them as well.
And Aruna, for all of us who studied, for example, I can talk about Delhi University specifically. Over here, there are a huge amount of admissions actually reserved as far as foreign students are concerned. It's very interesting mix because a large number of Indian students at one point of time and do still want to go abroad for further studies. I think what Delhi University is trying to do is to introduce new courses and keeping with the times courses. I mean, remember computer classes, for example, were introduced. Foreign languages department, that's there in almost every university. Delhi University also has. So, and many of the students who are coming here, they are coming here to learn Indian languages as well. And Indian education in our country is now becoming something which is being coveted. So it's a two-way process. If Indians want to go abroad to study, equally a large number of foreigners who are studying here. And many of the Indian students are actually being encouraged now to go in for higher studies within the country itself. We see those pictures even as we speak. So the Prime Minister actually interacting with all of them, and it'll be interesting to hear what he really has to say then, because will they be seen as ambassador of their country into our country? When he talks about, when he goes abroad and he meets the Indians there, he talks about the fact that Indians are ambassador of our country when they settle down or they study abroad. So he's going to be interacting with the students, he's going to be interacting with the teachers. That's also a very interesting mix which we have often seen. So we can see the Prime Minister, for example, now taking the escalator up into that multi-purpose huge hall where he's going to be interacting with the students over there.
So Prime Minister is interacting with the students there at the Delhi University. He took the metro ride, reached the Vishwavidyalaya station, that's the metro station, which takes you to the Delhi University North Campus. Like Pallavi was pointing out, Delhi University, in fact, has two major campuses, and he's at the North Campus. That's where all the big colleges that you hear about, all the administrative buildings of the Delhi University, that's where the Vice Chancellor's office is, and that is where the Prime Minister is laying the foundation stone for 3 state-of-the-art buildings. He has taken the metro from near his residence, that's the LKM metro station, and he's reached the Vishwavidyalaya metro station, now interacting with staff members and students, chit-chatting with them. He has continued to chit-chat through his entire journey. I think it usually takes about half an hour if you travel from LKM to Vishwavidyalaya. It'll take you about half an hour to 40 minutes. So throughout that journey, he's utilized that time to interact with the youngsters. Arun Dhanta is back with us. Arun, we're seeing the pictures now of the Prime Minister at the Delhi University interacting with international students, interacting with students from various walks of life, and also the staff members. So very important message that the Prime Minister is carrying for them, which we might hear in a short while from now.
Well, that's right. And Prime Minister Modi has been talking about Amrit Kal, in the Amrit Kal, what is the role of the youths and how important it is for the growth of the country, the participation of the youths. And in fact, Prime Minister Modi is giving that due importance to the students by not only reaching Delhi University, but adopting the medium which majority of students actually take while going around for their colleges in Delhi University, and also importantly interacting with the students inside the metro. And now when Prime Minister Modi is reaching there, and also Prime Minister Modi has been Arunima talking about that how important the youths are for the political culture as well. And Prime Minister Modi, because when we participated in various programs of youths, they look up to Prime Minister Modi for his hard work and the time that he gives to the work, and also importantly the risk-taking factors, the team management and everything. And that is something which they learn from Prime Minister Modi, that how he inculcated all these things in himself. And these are the learnings which Prime Minister Modi in fact shares with the students. So today's presence on a very important day for Delhi University and their students of Prime Minister Modi is something which they will remember for many years to come. And also, of course, the address is going to be very, very important, because we know that Prime Minister Modi, whenever he participates in a program, the speech is accordingly prepared. And when you have audience of youths with whom you think that the country will shape itself, then you will have certain plans. And Prime Minister Modi has been showing this, that how he shares his stories, his anecdotes, and also the important things which students really need to imbibe in order to grow in their lives. So all eyes, of course, are going to be on that address of Prime Minister Modi, and of course, various other dignitaries will be participating in that programs as well. Retired chief justices, some of the active justices, they all are going to be present, listening to Prime Minister Modi, and also because this is coming on a very, very special occasion when Delhi University is completing its 100 years, and Prime Minister Modi is taking that metro route to reach there, speaking to the students, and also importantly, because Delhi University is not something where you have people from one state. It has the amalgamation of students from various backgrounds, from various states. They come here, meet with students from other states, the culture sharing that happens. And Prime Minister Modi knows, how things happen, and therefore he actually, makes students comfortable, when he talks about his journey, when he asks about their journeys and their participation and various other activities, which is important during your college time, and how those things help you to grow in life.
And do we have a detailed itinerary available? Do we know whether the Prime Minister will also get a chance to visit the rest of the campus or get a chance to speak to students who are either in this convention center or busy in their respective classes in other colleges of the university?
Well, see, Arunima, as of now, the information that we have is that, of course, Prime Minister Modi will be inaugurating 3 new campus buildings for the Delhi University. And apart from that, there are some works of the students of Delhi University's colleges, which will be showcased to Prime Minister Modi. So Prime Minister Modi perhaps is going to take a round around that venue where those stalls are put in place. Some colleges like Hindu College, Miranda, St. Stephen. These colleges have their students prepared some of the special things there, which Prime Minister Modi will see. And of course, Prime Minister Modi, we have seen that how eager he is in these things, and he listens to these things very eagerly and very with a seriousness when something of this kind happens. So today's, as far as itinerary is concerned, this is something which we know as of now, that Prime Minister Modi will be going around and seeing those stuff which has been prepared by the students of Delhi University, and he will be, of course, addressing the gathering beside the inauguration of these state-of-the-art buildings in Delhi University.
As DU is celebrating 100 years, and you're mentioning a lot of its alumni perhaps would be there in attendance. It's a long list, isn't it? This is a university which has given the country the finance minister, one law minister, the superstar as far as the entertainment world is concerned. Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan have also spent time in this university as a student. The who's who of the bureaucracy, a lot of our netas, our parliamentarians, they all come from here. So it's a momentous occasion.
Well, that's right. And that is the reason why, Arunima, we are seeing Prime Minister Modi's attachment, with Delhi University. He's not only reaching there to give an address, he's making it a personal affair, as if he has wonderful connect with the Delhi University, and therefore he is choosing that medium of metro to reach there. And also importantly, a messaging for the students that we have, as you rightly mentioned, people in the politics, even in his own party, who've come from Delhi University. And in fact, Prime Minister Modi would not want this opportunity when he perhaps speak about a few leaders as well while in his address to Delhi University, because that will be an inspiration for these students shape their career into politics as well, And Prime Minister Modi has been speaking on that if students have interest in politics, they should come forward, right beside education. They can also participate in political activities as well. And because this is the need we need a young generation to come forward. Prime Minister Modi has been, showing in his cabinet as well the kind of roles that he has given to his ministers. Some of the young ministers, who have never thought to be part of part of the union government. They have become the ministers, and Prime Minister Modi has been regularly praising them for the works which they are doing in the ministry. So Prime Minister Modi not only talking about it, but he's showing ample signs that how he is valuing or how he is promoting the youngsters, be it is in the government or it is in the party or the organization.
Right. Arun, thank you so much for helping us understand what this occasion really means. Prime Minister currently is taking a round of all the stalls that have been put up. These are exhibitions and presentations by the Delhi University students themselves. We're just stopping for a very quick break, but we'll continue to keep our focus on the Prime Minister's visit to the Delhi University. Coming back after a very quick break. Stay right here.